It's Tuesday Lunch with Abe, and calling in from, actually, where are you calling in from, Amy?
I live in Pomona.
Pomona, next to Cal Poly Pomona.
Yeah, it's pretty close.
And, boy, I'm guessing it's pretty hot out there today.
Yeah, it's maybe in the 80s. Not too bad.
Well, it's in the 90s here, which is usually the opposite. Usually it's cooler here. But I think we're getting one of those, what do you call it? The Santa Anas. I think they're blowing off the land.
One of the best parts of living down here.
Yeah. Your fine new album is called Looking for the Answers. And you are not only playing piano, synth bass, organ, composing, arranging, and producing, but most importantly, you're singing. And you've got accompanied by some of the Southern California's best players. And
I think so.
yeah, and you're a mom of 4? Am I correct?
Yeah, that's right.
That's a full-time job. How do you have any time for music?
It is a full-time job, just about. My kids are all bigger, so there's a good portion of the day where they're all gone, and that's when I have time. That's the short answer.
Oh, like going to high school or something?
Yeah, like they're all in school, so
that's
I've
good.
Yeah, my days are pretty full of music.
Say how much I enjoy your record. It's got so many wonderful tracks on it, and the arrangements are very cool. I'm really impressed with these arrangements, and I'm assuming, this first track, it's not your composition. It's Matthew Clark, but you did
That's
the
right.
arrangement. And who is Matthew Clark? He did The Loveliest Girl. I'm not familiar with him.
Matthew's just a friend of mine, and he doesn't do much music. He's a graphic design artist, but he used to have a successful YouTube channel. He hasn't touched it in years, and you can look him up. Matt Clark. He did a lot of covers, but he a long time ago he sent me a link to a SoundCloud. You can also look up his SoundCloud, and he's got about 5 or 6 originals there, and every one of them knocks me out. And he just plays guitar and sing, and it's not even professionally recorded, but each composition is a little masterpiece. And The Loveliest Girl isn't called The Loveliest Girl. When he wrote it, I think he called it To All the Girls I've Ever Loved.
So what is Matthew doing these days?
He's a graphic designer, and he actually has designed my logo. So for my YouTube channel, my logo that you see that was designed by Matt.
I visited your channel once, but I was hoping you could refresh me and share with listeners what you do on YouTube, because you've been doing it for quite a while.
Sure. I just had my 3-year YouTube anniversary. It's called Aimee Nolte Music, and I just do everything that I feel like doing that has to do with music. So it's the nice thing about YouTube. You know, when you have a channel, they call you a YouTube creator, and that's just what you get to be. You get to be creative with your content. And so sometimes I'll perform something. Sometimes I'll talk about my process, how I recorded, or how I composed, or how I thought about things when I took a solo. And sometimes I'll just flat out teach you some stuff. I'll teach you how to play by ear, how to how to hear a song on the radio and go about figuring it out, or just pretty much anything that comes across my world or my mind, I can make a video about. So it's a nice outlet for me, and also it's a nice little way to make a living.
Have you ever done a segment on the healing powers of music?
I have. It's called What Music Can Do, and I talk about an experience I had where my mom and I traveled to upstate New York after my great aunt had a stroke, and I tell the story of something kind of amazing that happened while we were there in that video.
Well, I'm guessing you probably saw the documentary that came out, I think it was a couple of years ago, on how music helps bring back people who are otherwise laconic, who have Alzheimer's or dementia, and all of a sudden they just perk up, because that's the one part of the mind which, generally speaking, does not fall apart when everything else does, is that memory is retained for music. And just to see the look on their faces when this guy brings in that little iPod I mean, they're completely laconic, and then he puts the music on, and they just wake up and they start singing this song. It's incredible.
It just feels like a gift, like, just like this crazy magical gift that, especially for families of people who have Alzheimer's, that they can at least see that part of their loved one again.
Did you start playing, was organ or piano your first instrument?
Oh, piano. Definitely not organ. I hardly play the organ. But, yeah, piano when I was 5.
Because I thought, well, maybe you had one of those, Wurlitzer living room organs. No? Didn't have one of those?
No, I didn't.
I remember
yeah.
a lot of my fellow kid friends, their parents would have one. You'd turn it on, there would be this cheesy drum sound, and it practically played itself.
I've seen those. Yeah, lucky for me, I guess my parents weren't that cheesy.
I still have mine. It's just the oddest thing. It doesn't have a rhythm machine. It's an old. It is an old Wurlitzer. Someone gifted it to me. I've had it since 1980. I keep saying I'm going to get rid of it, but it just sounds too good, so I'm not going to get rid of it.
That's cool.
I'd like to play the title track now. This one is Looking for the Answers. This is Aimee Nolte here on The Rock.
From your dreams, come on, you sleepyhead, and finish what you started here. And do not be afraid, I'm here to take your hand. I can see the end so clear. And why do you always go looking for the answers, so far from where you started, away from what you know? And when you decide to come back to the beginning, you know I'll be there. You know I'll be there. into a place unknown. Go on and do your thing, and I will be right here when you find your way back home. And why do you always go looking for the answer so far from where you started, away from what you know? And when you decide to come back to the beginning, you know I'll be there. You know I'll be there. You know I'll be there. You know I'll be there.
That is the title track to Aimee Nolte's Looking for the Answers, which on the cover, Amy, you've got this, is this, who did the cover?
The cover was done by my friend Patrick Horvath. He's called Cat Bird Planet on Instagram, Cat Bird Planet. And a friend of mine told me about Patrick one time when we were on a break at a club, and I just went to his Instagram and I started following him, and I just fell in love with his drawings, and I had the idea, gosh, that would make a cool album cover. And as I was writing that title track that just played, Looking for the Answers, I thought, what if I could ask Patrick to make something that represented that I was looking for answers, and that's kind of how it came to be.
Well, for those of you who can't see it, which is all of you, it looks like you're on the surface of an alien world, like the moon or anything. But you're in a spacesuit, but you've taken the helmet off and you've got a shovel and you're digging a hole, and either it's you or just a character looking back at the person who's looking at you. And it's
perfect.
Is it supposed to be you?
Yeah, it's supposed to be me. And I'm looking for something. I've got a shovel. I'm digging a hole, and somewhere along in the process, I did take off my helmet, I guess. And to me, that just kind of represents that in this album, I wanted to be able to try some things that weren't necessarily jazz. That I arranged for woodwinds and try to have a kind of orchestral sound at some points. And at some points, I think I kind of cross over into maybe a little bit of country western or a little bit of pop, and that's what I was doing with the album, was kind of seeing if there was a space for that. And so in a way, it was like I took off my jazz helmet to see if I could still breathe.
Your jazz helmet. That's so funny. Well, there's no surfboard in this shot, and I just learned that you surf whenever you get a chance, and that occasionally you do write in your head when you're surfing, which must be very inspirational, because it's being out there. It's so beautiful.
Oh, so beautiful. Yeah, it's about my favorite thing there is to go do. And there's times when you just sit out there and wait and watch the horizon for the waves to come. And so that, usually I'm thinking about music when I'm out there doing that. In fact, yesterday I tried out some new equipment, and I put a new video on my YouTube channel where I try out a new GoPro camera with a external microphone attachment that's waterproof. So for the first time, I can shoot a video from my surfboard, and I do a little bit of singing, and I play some percussion on the surfboard. This microphone picks me up like nothing else. I'm so excited about it.
So is it a POV, or is it looking at you?
Looking at me. So I just turn it. I hold a little pole, and yes.
Well, you got to send me a link to that. Send me a link to that. In fact, Yeah, just email me the link to that. I would love to look at that and share it with listeners. That would be fun.
No problem.
Well, I wanted to play one of your compositions. This one's called "Save Me One Last Time," and by the way, musicians on this include yourself on piano and vocals on all tracks. On this particular track, let's see, we've got John Riley on woodwinds, and you're playing synth bass, organ, and backing vocals. And where did the inspiration come for "Save Me One Last Time"?
This one, it's an oldie in my as far as my compositions go. I wrote it maybe 8 or 9 years ago, and I wrote it. I don't know if you remember that television show. It was called House, about the doctor.
I heard of it, but
it had Hugh Laurie was in it. Who actually?
Right, I heard about it. You're not going to believe this, but I'm 62. I've never had a television set in my adult life.
Well, there's something to be said for that. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
But when that series ended, there was just a situation going on in the show with the main character who was he was hopelessly addicted to Vicodin and substances, and he could not make his relationship with the woman of his dreams work, no matter how much they worked at it. And that just kind of hit me. I wanted to write a song about that. So I sing it like it's me, but really I'm thinking about an old TV show.
Here it is. This is Aimee Nolte and "Save Me One Last Time" here on Tuesday Lunch on The Rock.
Watching as you fade into the past. I can't believe it's happening so fast. I'm stepping back into my empty life. I'm fighting through the silence of the night. I really messed it up this time. Drink away the pain most of the time. It's what it takes to get you off my mind. I find it hard to face up to the truth, 'cause I look into the mirror and there's the proof. I know I broke your heart this time. I am falling harder than I've ever fallen, falling into nothing. Nothing's all I've got, and if I keep on falling, wants a part of me, I know. It's the rest of me that needs some working out for sure. Yet there's a part of you that needs a part of me, I know. Take the best of me, the rest will come along. I really wish you'd even up the score. Maybe then I'd hate me even more. At least I'd know there's something left to feel. only thing about me that's for real. I think you're gone for good this time, and I'm falling harder than I've ever fallen. I'm falling into nothing. Nothing's all I've got. And if I keep on falling, I'll be lost forever. Save me one last time. Save me one last time. I say it's one more time, but we both know I'll do it again.
Save Me One Last Time. Aimee Nolte. What a beautiful arrangement and just all-around presentation. Where did you record this record?
Oh, thank you so much. I recorded it at Oak House Studios in Altadena. It's my friend David Peters' studio.
And is it a dedicated studio, or is it like a living room set up as a studio?
It's a dedicated portion of his house. So we recorded a lot of it in his living room where his piano is, and then he also has a nice vocal booth.
Was it a grand piano?
Yeah, baby grand.
Sounds really good. And I wanted to point out, you told me when we were off the air that you had done some customizing for this particular piece. Can you explain it?
Yeah, I've been listening to an album by an artist I really like, Gabriel Kahane, who did an entire album where he just sings and plays a felted piano, so a piano that has felt between the hammers and the strings, and I loved the way that sounded so much. I asked David how he would feel about trying that, so I was so lucky he was just totally on board with it, and he experimented and built me a felted piano to have it. I don't know if you noticed, but the piano just sounds muted and softer.
Yes, I did notice. Well, is it? I mean, most hammers on a piano already have felt on them. So did he just put double felt?
Well, it's not. Yeah, it's like you're right. The top of a hammer does have a very thin piece of felt, but this is kind of a thick strip that he just laid right underneath the strings. So yeah, it is. It's like double felt.
Oh, so it's underneath the strings to give them a little dampening sound.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, very interesting. Wow. I wonder how he came up with that.
He did a little research, and I maybe watched some YouTube videos to figure it out. But if he ever gets around to it, he's going to post a video about exactly how he did it. I have photos on my Instagram. It's a funny setup with he used pipe cleaners and I don't know what all he used. Yeah, it's
wow.
really funny.
Well, you are listening to 97.3 and 107.9 The Rock. This is KEBF, Morro Bay. And right now it's just about 4 minutes after the hour of 1 o'clock. Aimee Nolte is my guest, and I think we're going to finish this out with a duo, I think it was. We're talking about So in Love, and that's with let's see, who is it with? It's with Mike Scott.
Mike Scott.
So he's singing, correct? Or he's playing guitar?
No, Mike plays guitar. He's been my steady guitar player for a lot of years now, 8 or 9 years. He's the head of the jazz guitar department at Fullerton College.
Oh, I hear they have a very good program there.
They do, a great jazz program.
Wow. And so it's just the two of you on this track?
Yeah, just the two of us.
Well, if people want to get this record, Aimee Nolte Music is your moniker. I'm looking for your web address, and I'm not seeing it.
Just AimeenNolte.com.
Oh, that's it. And I would just for the YouTube channel, I would just just type in Aimee Nolte, Aimee, and then Nolte.
Correct.
And then you're on Facebook at just Aimee Nolte fan page. And so where could they get the physical CD if they wanted to buy that?
A few places. You can get it through my website. You get it through Amazon or CD Baby.
And if you have any gigs coming up that people might be able to catch you at as well?
Well, I've got a kind of big one, but it's not one that the left coasters can catch me on. I'm going to South Carolina to headline at the Jazz Corner for 2 nights in October with bass player singer Nikki Perrott, and I'm really excited about that one.
That sounds like fun. A completely different environment.
Yeah, it's fun over there. It's on the island of Hilton Head.
Oh yes, just make sure you don't go there during a hurricane.
Yeah, I think the season should be over by then. Hopefully, do you think so?
I think so too. Although, if there is a hurricane, you better bring your surfboard because some of the best surfing is during a hurricane.
Oh my gosh, you're going to get me in trouble.
I've seen some videos of guys surfing, or women for that matter, surfing these crazy waves during hurricanes, and they just love doing it. It's just, it's a thrill, I suppose. Thank you again, and thanks to Holly Cooper for putting this together. And maybe we'll get you to come up here on the Central Coast because you're not that far, only about 5 hours away, or 10 when you get stuck in traffic.
Let's do it.
Okay. Thank you, Aimee Nolte.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Strange dear, but true dear, when I'm close to you, dear, the stars fill the sky, so in love with you am I. Even without you, my arms fold about you. You know, darling, why so in love with you am I? In love with the night mysterious, the night when you first were there. In love in my joy delirious, when I knew that you could care. So taunt me and hurt me, deceive me, desert me. I'm yours till I die. So in love, so in love, so in love.